and welcome to my first Booktube video. I've been wanting to make a video for Booktube for a very long time now, and I figured I would just dive right in with, obviously you can tell by the title, the Booktube Newbie Tag, which feels very fitting and very appropriate. Before I dive into the tag, just a few things about me. My name's Anna Marie and I'm 25 years old. I am Canadian and I also have a 10-year-old cat named Spencer, who is currently asleep over on the couch. He may join me once he hears me talking for a long while, as he is prone to do, so I'm sorry if I keep glancing off to the side. As well, I have the questions on my laptop in the corner here in front of me, so if I am glancing down a lot, it is either because of the cat or because I'm looking at the questions. Also, just finally, I'm currently reading The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, which seems to be a Booktube and Bookstagram fan favorite. So I'm very excited to see if it lives up to the hype, in my opinion. So far, I am really enjoying it though, so that is exciting. But let's just dive right into the tag with the first question, which is, why did you start this channel? So, as I kind of alluded to with the whole Bookstagram comment, I have a Bookstagram account under this same moniker, which is DistilledReads, and I started that in the fall of last year. And when I started that account, I really wanted to start making YouTube videos at the same time to go alongside that, but I never obviously did. And honestly, for years and years, I've been wanting to make Booktube videos. That definitely has intensified over the last few months as I started, as I created that account and started posting book reviews over there. My desire to create a Booktube account has intensified quite a bit. But I have watched YouTube and Booktube videos since high school, so for more than a decade now, which makes me feel very old. But I've always wanted to try it out for myself and have always just given myself excuses as why I shouldn't and put it off and off and off. I'm quite shy and reserved, so this is definitely out of my comfort zone a little bit, but I adore watching the Booktubers who I've followed for years now, and I've wanted to try my hand at making my own content. So I'm very excited to finally be pushing myself creatively in that direction. What are some fun and unique things that you can bring to Booktube? Okay, so this question right here is part and parcel of what has led me to hesitate so much over the past year, and I know that's not how it was intended, but it's definitely made me spiral just a little bit, because honestly I'm not sure what uniqueness I can bring to Booktube. I'm a white female in her mid-20s who loves fantasy and dragons, so much so that I have gotten a dragon tattooed on me. So I'm kind of a dime a dozen. As harsh as that sounds, I think it's also very honest. So I don't think I can bring a very unique spin or a very unique perspective to Booktube. However, I hope that I will be able to convey just the joy and happiness that books bring me, and therefore maybe I will be a bit of fun on Booktube. So I'm not sure I can hit the unique part of this question, but hopefully I can deliver on bringing some fun to Booktube. Time will tell. What are you most excited for about this new channel? I'm honestly just so excited to chat about books. I have loved posting my book reviews on Instagram under my book account and finding like-minded people and just chatting books with them. So I really hope that the YouTube platform will offer me some of those similar connections. Why do you love reading? So again, I'm not unique in this respect. because reading for me is escapism, and also I've never known any different. I've never not loved reading. It's something that I have always been drawn to. I've always loved being caught up in a story. And when I can't leave my house, like over the past year and a bit, having a book to hand is the next best thing. And that has always been true for me since I was quite young. What book or series got you into reading? So, well, I'm 25, so you can kind of do the math and figure out what was dominating bestsellers list whilst I was growing up and through my adolescence. And I am privileged in the respect that I can still glean some enjoyment from that world and how it impacted me at such a young age. But I 110% do not want to align myself with that author and their transphobic views. So I am trying not to identify myself with that fictional world just because I can't stand behind that author and a lot of the things that she has said. So I'm not even going to mention the name of the series, even though I'm sure you all can kind of connect the dots. It wasn't a very subtle reference, so I apologize. However, instead, I would like to mention a few of the series that definitely grabbed my attention when I was a young child and fostered that love of reading. So I consumed so many books of like the Babysitter's Club, Archie comics, the Magic Treehouse books, and would read them over and over and over again. And I honestly still have a lot of my copies. In terms of the first book that wasn't a children's lit or a middle grade author or novel or series that really helped cement my love of reading, I distinctly remember the first Agatha Christie book I ever read, and I got it from my middle school library, and I could tell you precisely where in that room, what bookcase and on what shelf she was located, and I think it was either Murder on the Orient Express or the ABC Murders. And I read that book and I absolutely fell in love with the Agatha Christie and Poirot. I just got addicted, and she's probably the author who I own the most books by. I think I have to own 30 odd Agatha Christie books or something like that. And so many of them are books that I picked up from the secondhand bookstore when I was a kid, or picked up from charity sales. So they're all really old, like not really old, but they're all about 40, 50 now year old editions. And I love just the look of them on my shelves. They bring me a lot of joy to see. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Oh my goodness. Like I said, I have watched Booktube since I was in high school, so around 10 years ago, and it's definitely a cliche topic, but I would be really interested to talk to those booktubers who I've followed since then, and just discuss with them how YouTube has changed over the years. And I know there's the general assumption that present day YouTube is so much worse than the quote unquote glory days back in the day. So I would like to kind of pick their brains and figure out how they think YouTube has improved over that time. Also, on this note, easily my favorite booktuber is Jean's Thoughts. I've watched her videos for years and years. They have always been They have always brought me such joy and happiness. Again, such a cliche, but I adore her videos. We have really similar reading tastes, and I love how she analyzes her reading. So if I ever had the chance to actually have a conversation with her, I would probably be like a babbling, blathering, overwhelmed mess. So I don't think I would be able to be as eloquent as I'm imagining I would be in my head, but I would still love to just kind of talk about the changes that have occurred in this new digital age that we're in. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think the hardest thing to overcome will be just putting myself out there and letting what will be just be. I tend to be quite shy and reserved, so this is outside of my comfort zone, even though it's something that really intrigues me and I want to challenge myself in this direction. It's definitely out of my comfort zone. But I think embracing that it's out of my comfort zone and allowing myself the opportunity to meet new like-minded YouTubers will be really beneficial for me. So I'm really hoping that I can overcome that challenge and take part in this community. So the next question is, when did you start reading? I think I've already answered this a little bit, but I have always remembered loving to read. My mom jokes that when I was a kid, we would be walking somewheres and I would always have my nose in a book, whether we were on a sidewalk or like trying to walk down a dirt country road, and I somehow managed to never trip or turn or sprain or break an ankle, which is kind of incredible in my opinion now, because I 100% lack those coordination skills, so I must have used them all up when I was young. But yeah, another cliche, I honestly don't remember when I started to love it. I just remember always loving to read. So where do I read? Kind of ironically, coming off the tail end of that last answer, but I definitely prefer reading in my own space at home, under the comfort of like a fuzzy blanket with a hot drink beside me and a very affectionate cuddly cat in my lap. I definitely still bring a book everywhere as I go, and like I will sneak in a chapter waiting for an appointment or waiting in my car, like wherever I can fit that in, I will. But most definitely I prefer to read at home where I won't be disturbed and I can really like sink into the book that I'm reading and no one can interrupt me or try to twist me into a conversation when really all I want to be doing is reading. This coffee has 100% gone cold, but I need the caffeine. What kind of books do you like to read? I would say 60 to like 66% of the books that I read are fantasy. I mean, as you can kind of tell in the very top of the frame here, this is my Sanderson shelf. I adore Brandon Sanderson. Just love him so much. There was a large time or a large period of my life in which I didn't let myself enjoy or read fantasy because I had a few unfortunate encounters with some gatekeepers of the genre. But now that I am older, not necessarily wiser, but now that I'm older, I have definitely become like unapologetically loud with how much I adore the genre. I mean, hence the dragon tattoo. And I also have the Lightweaver glyph from the Stormlight Archive series tattooed on my back. So I adore fantasy, but I truly will read anything and everything that garners my interest. I really enjoy a good old romance, especially now that the weather is starting to warm up where I live. I'm itching to like dive into a nice comforting romance, which typically for me tends to be a Regency romance, although more recently I have read a few contemporaries and enjoyed those as well. One genre that I can't do would be horror, and that's whether it is in film or literature. I just am not a horror fan. So that was the last question, which means that is the end of the tag. And my cat has joined us, so I'm gonna pick him up. Here he is. This is Spencer, who is so content with his life right now. And there's hair flying everywhere. So if you are still watching this video, thank you, thank you. I hope that the guest appearance from my little cat has made it somewhat worthwhile. I know that I've blathered and gone on at length here, so I hope that I'm able to edit this down to a bearable final cut time. And again, I just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you have a lovely day in your corner of the world. This all feels very, very strange for me to be saying, but I'm gonna go give my cat some attention here and just say bye for now. We got so close to the end before you interrupted me. Ow. Dude. Do you want to talk about books? What did you read last? You like to lay on books.